Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order at 3:30. We're going to stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we can do introduction of visitors if you'd like to introduce themselves. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Jeff Goodman, Fire Commissioner with East Ray Harbor Fire Rescue.
Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Sure, I'm Ginger Chacon, with myself here. I live on, off of Maple Stack South Twin on River Drive. So, welcome.
I'm Pam Perkins from Nicholson and Associates. Pat Rollins, Wenatchee Valley. Have a lot of friends over here. I want to support of all of you. Ashley from Nicholson and Associates.
James Brooks from Nicholson and Associates.
Cheryl Bessie.
Dale Bessie.
Archie Sarah.
Bruce and Sarah.
We're not
Okay.
desperate or anything.
Matlock Community.
Yeah.
Bob Herbert, Emergency Management.
Tom Wilder.
Craig Seals, Mason County EMS Council.
Anybody else like to introduce themselves?
John Shelby.
Debbie Kingery.
Joe Taxpayer.
Yeah, me too.
Joe Hoffman, Medical Director for Mason County EMS.
Steve Dunkel, Mason County Auditor.
Ryan Sperling, Mason County Sheriff.
So we don't have any community comments that were submitted online. Do we have any commissioner comments?
I have a comment. I'd just like to say thank you everyone for showing up. Yeah, thank you for all your support. And hopefully we'll be moving forward to a good future. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
So we don't have an executive session anticipated. So our point of today's meeting is insurance. So as of Friday morning at 12:01, we will not have any insurance, which with that, we will lose our EMS coverage. So we will not have any EMS for the district.
I believe fire as well. I don't think
We won't have any, our apparatus cannot roll with no
Yeah,
insurance at all.
exactly.
Correct. So I do know that we received some denial letters from Nicholson, who they had reached out to, which is in our packet. I do know that the chief was able to reach somebody with an insurance out of Centralia or Chehalis, I'm not sure where the company is located, that they'll be able to do liability for the district. They're going to have the quote for us next week, which doesn't change anything in the point right now. So that'll be at our...
What's the name?
I don't know the name. You can email the chief and get that. So with that being said, District 12 will not have any operating rigs or personnel. So the chief has reached out, and West Mason is going to cover from Merriam Knight Road, the north end of our district, and District 13 is going to cover the south end of our district. There are no ILAs or anything like that in place due to the insurance. They're not allowed to be put in place at the moment. So, do you have anything about that, Nick? Okay, well, and with that, with no insurance, so we're currently in a grant with District 13 and West Mason District 4 for our SCBA. So with us not having insurance, not being able to respond, all of the SCBA equipment is going to go back to Mason 13 until we get insurance. That's all of our packs, the masks, the Questar, everything that goes with all that. So we won't have an EMS. We won't have, District 12 is not responding. We still have a board. And then due to having no insurance, we will not be having a meeting next week. It's going to be via Zoom because we can't have an in-person meeting with no insurance.
Why can't I give you insurance? Why is there no insurance?
So that is where we are at the moment.
Okay, I
Yes,
Actually,
this is in regard to insurance.
so she was our insurance carrier. They are no longer carrying.
No, they still carry us as of the 17th.
Until Friday, she
Okay,
is.
calm down, calm down.
Chill out.
Okay, so Pam, go ahead and please enlighten us.
Okay, well, what is the letter? So we received, and the district received a letter from GFIS due to several things. They never cancel anybody midterm, so this is a rarity. Anyways, and actually has a copy, or she will read the letter from the insurance company. And I have been in contact, so we did go out and re-quoted and went to several different companies. Nobody will touch it. A lot of it has to do with the audit. And I'll let Ashley read you the letter that came
So
from.
Pam, I have a question on that. So the audit, since now the audit's gonna be brought up that that's gonna be the reason for the insurance. Now the audit, you guys have carried us through the entire audit, through the audit.
That's not the reason, just the insurance, not just the audit.
Okay.
And Ashley will-
Okay, so I'm just gonna read the whole thing, so it's nice and official here. So coming from BFIS, who is your current carrier, the description of changes as follows: deleting Mason County Fire Protection District 12 as an additional and named insured from the policy effective the above date, resulting in the elimination of all coverages, extending to the entity through any coverage part on any policy, including property, crime, portable equipment, auto, general liability, management liability, and excess liability lines of business. In addition, the following specified items will be removed. Deleting the following properties on 2950 Matlock Brady Road, the fire station, pump house, and water tank. 10 West Olympic View Drive, the garage. 1450 West Beeville Loop, the garage, and 8181 West Saxon Road, the garage. We're deleting the following vehicles: the 95 Tender, the 1993 Pumper, the 93 Pumper, the 1996 Tanker, 1998 Freightliner Pumper, 2011 Ford Rush vehicle, 2002 ambulance, and 2017 ambulance. The reasons for this policy change are serious failures to provide adequate management oversight, education, written procedures, enforcement, and remedial training in connection with operating in compliance with state and local laws and regulations. The application of sound accounting controls and financial reporting, cash and payroll accounting discrepancies affecting financial condition, reported and unresolved incidences require remedial action, and potential third-party claims, including failure to properly investigate incidences, each giving rise to a substantial change affecting the insurability of the risk.
Wow.
Yeah, disappointing.
So, I know all of us also received an email from Pam stating what it would take to get reinsured. And I'd like to read that email. So it says, I spoke with the underwriter with VFIS this morning. The insurance will expire as scheduled. They need to see that the district is making the changes that need to be done, which will take some time on the district's part. The possibility of getting insurance again in the future for the district. Here is what needs to happen. All administration, commissioners in office in 2023, and fire chief must step down and will not be allowed on district property. If this does not happen first, the district will not be able to get any insurance at all. 2, there must be a plan of action which includes some of the items listed below. All volunteers will be fired, then reapply if they want to continue as a volunteer, with background checks and training. All apparatuses will need to be serviced, making sure everything is working, and records kept on each individual apparatus. The building must be up to code, have pride of ownership, no rodent infestation. All training records must be kept for all members of the department and up to date. Any members that are certified must give record of certification to the district. All SOPs and RCWs must be followed by all members of the district. To help protect our community during this time, the underwriter suggests to have mutual aid, Mason 13 in the south end of your district, and Mason 16 in the north end of your district. Central Mason already covers you for ALS and transports. So my question is to you guys and the rest of all the staff is, are you actually going to step down and do this district a service in the community of service and allow us to get our insurance back,
So you're not gonna get the insurance back from them because it says in there it's a possibility.
that's fine.
So it's not a guarantee.
It
So-
doesn't matter.
Well-
With you guys still here, we don't get it
So
back.
this is the insurance, Nick. We're not discussing stepping down at
This
this
is,
point.
this is part of the insurance.
Okay, well,
This is actually the reason why we don't have insurance.
great. So the department is not gonna be saved because obviously, when we continue to tear everything apart and tear everything apart and tear everything apart, it's to the point that it's not gonna happen. So with losing the BLS certification for EMS, that's something I don't know, I'm assuming is pretty hard to get back.
Hold on.
Can you guys
hold on.
stop so Dr. Hoffman can talk, please? Can you please stop?
I'd like to respond, and I'd like to also ask a few scenarios. Yes, the stipulations of that letter that was just read by Nick. You will not have, even if you didn't satisfy all that, you will no longer probably have any certified providers.
Right.
So you will not be able to have an EMS response. Does everyone understand that? Okay?
That means it'll just be first responders. So first aid is all it would be.
That
Right.
is not a licensed
Right.
EMS response.
Right.
Okay? So you would have maybe be able to gain your fire department, regain liability coverage, vehicle service, everything like that, but you're still not gonna have an EMS response. So you still are not gonna be able to meet the elements of your licensure and trauma verification. So what is the plan? Great, you've satisfied those things, but what's the next step and what's the next plan? Should you decide not to meet those requests in order to get insurance back, liability insurance back, what is your plan? Do you know what your options are?
To get our BLS back?
Well,
No, to
going
get
back to
insurance.
that, if you get your BLS back, I will request from the Department of Health a very stringent examination.
Okay.
But what he asked was, what's our plan if we don't get our insurance back?
So I don't know
Anyone.
that there is a plan in place right now. We have not spoke before today.
Okay?
So I,
Understand what your options are.
what are our options, Dr. Hoffman?
As your commission, as appointed elected officials, you can vote to merge with another district, probably taking some of your liabilities with you, okay? Or you could vote to dissolve.
Okay.
Does the voting to dissolve, does that
Go to the taxpayers.
does that go to the taxpayers for a vote?
I believe the board has to make a resolution for it and then it goes to taxpayers. I believe. I don't know for sure.
In any of the three forks of the road, none of these are an easy fix.
Right.
Which is the easiest, you know?
For them to step down, pretty easy, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're still gonna have a void of, that you're not gonna have an EMS service.
How quickly could that be remedied?
It's not a quick fix.
I'm just asking, I have no idea.
You would have to put people through an EMS course. An emergency responder course would be the fastest course, probably under 70 hours. And that would at least put Washington Department of Health certified people on the street and responding to your homes.
If there are already people in the district who have the certification, it sounded like if they provided that through, that would be available. Is that still an option?
There would be an option if they're current.
Yeah. So if there
So
were.
you can't dust off your EMT card from 10 years ago and say, I want to come back.
Right,
It doesn't work that way.
If we are dissolved, to me, that means you have no job. So if we are dissolved because of insurance, you either are automatically disappear or you resign. But you do not continue because there's nothing to work with.
We can't rebuild with you in place.
Nope. So it would be easier if you were resigning and would make things start to happen to rebuild. But if you, there's no point in staying on because there is nothing to work with.
I agree.
So-
You created the destruction.
So we have a board meeting next week and then this will be discussed at our next board meeting. This is our options. Did you hear me say that we don't have a plan? The board has not met until today. So we're gonna stop, we're stopped. All right, so do we have any more discussion over the insurance where we're currently at? So as of Friday, West Mason's gonna cover the north end of the district from Merriam Knight Road, that direction towards West Mason, and District 13 is gonna cover the south end. But no District 12 vehicles are gonna be moving until there's some
Is
kind
that
of
a
insurance.
mutual aid?
Yes.
Okay.
It's mutual aid. Can you please stop interrupting? We cannot get anything done when there's interruptions. We have to be able to communicate. So stop, please. That would be considered on the south end, so that would be covered by Mason 13. It's in half, so Merriam Knight Road, straight across. So, I'm not taking questions. We're not doing question answers. So, right now, we have in place that West Mason Fire is going to cover the north end. District 13 is going to cover the south end. We are going to have to figure out what the next step is for the district. If we're going to dissolve.
Why not resign?
So, you guys need to stop.
Okay, hold on.
Trina, you need to stop. We're not interrupting. So I'm going to have to ask you to leave if you're going to interrupt. You're not going to come up here and interrupt.
She has a right to have the floor and speak.
You're not going to come up here. You're not. Stop. You need to stop interrupting the meeting, Trina. Nope, you need to. You guys have put yourself in the situation.
Okay, hey, everyone. I know. I understand. I understand the frustration. I would like to hear from Pam, since this is in regards to insurance.
So when I spoke to the underwriter, if they don't step down before 12:01 on the 17th, they will not insure at all, period. That's on you.
There's other insurance carriers as well.
They're not gonna do it, they're not gonna.
Okay, so we're done with this discussion. Nick, did you have any other questions regarding our steps? So we need to come up with some kind of a plan prior to our next meeting.
So I just would like, yeah, go ahead, Ashley.
No, we're,
So we are all going through insurance issues with our houses, autos, everything like that. If you are any kind of lapse in insurance, commercial, personal, anything, you are almost always non-insurable with everybody. That's just how it works. So yes, there are other carriers. I have shopped other carriers for you. You have the declination letters in your thing. You have currently insurance and you're still, I'm not able to find you insurance.
right.
So if you're
So
without insurance and now you have a lapse in coverage.
So what you're saying is if they step down today, there's a really good possibility we won't have a lapse?
no, they said in this
Okay.
email, so there's an email, did you see that first page of the
Yeah, I was just asking her a
Okay,
question,
well,
not
she answered
you.
that question in your email.
That's fine, but I'm asking her
Of
personally.
course you are.
Okay,
They wanna see.
You're still gonna have to find a different, it wouldn't be VFIS, correct?
We stepped down there.
So it's also, in this, since we're gonna be reading emails, so it was also, Rachel reached out to Nicholson and, to Pam, Denise, and Ashley, and got a response from Pam. So Nick read the letter, and then it was also asked, so since we're gonna be doing mutual aid with the neighbors, so it was mentioned that we need to do an ILA, which is typically what you would do for coverage from a district. That's what you would typically do to ensure coverage. But in her email, it said, so if the current commissioners can ILA with a neighboring, no, this was asked to her. If the current commission could ILA with a neighboring district to ensure operations continue, then do as you request and replace the current staff, would you guys consider continuing insurance? And she says, then that was the email Nick got back. And then it was also asked of her that they want to clarify that if Mason 13 and Mason 16 were to cover, it won't affect their coverage, because that was mentioned that if they enter into ILA with the district, then they would also be in jeopardy of losing their insurance. And it was responded with that if they cover as mutual aid, it does not affect their coverage. But you do need to make sure they are both listed as mutual aid for District 12. That was her response. So if they sign... No, right, that's what I said. So mutual aid will not, but if they enter into an ILA, it could jeopardize their insurance.
They probably don't want them
That's what your email said.
on their insurance.
okay. So I'm gonna ask some questions. So if you keep it down, we'll hopefully get some answers. So my question is to Commissioner Kelly Walsworth. What is your reason for not stepping down?
Nick, I'm not gonna get,
you know what?
I'm not discussing it
This
right
is
now.
this is in regards to insurance.
No, it's not.
It is,
Okay,
actually.
well, I'm not discussing it, so.
Because if you guys step down, we have a better chance at getting our insurance back,
Mm-hmm.
plus getting new people in that are certified to cover the district.
Okay,
And
well,
hold on, don't interrupt me.
Oh, it makes a
To
difference.
possibly
Does it?
get our EMS coverage back.
Okay,
So,
that's still gonna be an extremely long process to get back to our.
Doesn't matter.
company. Okay,
At least
well,
it's a process.
I'm not entertaining your offer at this moment.
I'm not asking
Good,
an
well, I'm
offer.
telling you I'm not,
No,
so.
listen. So, hold on. Listen, so my question wasn't for you to step down. My question was, why do you not want to step down?
And I said I'm not entertaining your question right now, so
Okay, so you refuse to answer the question for the community out here that really would
yes,
like
the
an
community-
answer.
The same community that you wouldn't allow responders to, even though you're getting your EMT license.
What does that have to do with anything?
If you're worried about your community, you want to help your community as much as you can,
Yeah.
you just getting your EMT or going through the process of getting your license, you wouldn't want to help your community as an EMT?
Why wouldn't I?
Because you declined that. Remember,
Declined what?
You stopped that and you because no commissioner could respond, remember?
Correct.
Okay, so how is that helping your district? Because you
Did
couldn't-
I say I would be the one helping? It
No, what I'm
doesn't-
saying is
like you said, it's a slow process. So.
Okay, well,
you're
we're not
obviously-
stop.
Okay, hold on. You're obviously avoiding the question
No, I
with
told you
another
I'm not
question.
entertaining your question, so we're done with that question.
Okay, so hold on,
do you have any other
stop.
discussion?
Excuse me, hold on.
Okay.
I'm not done.
Well, great.
Cinda, my question is the same to you. We don't get to ever hear your voice. We would like to actually hear your opinion on this. You know, what's the reason for not stepping down? Or are you willing to step down?
No. Why do I need to step down? I've done nothing wrong. So step down for what?
All right, so if there is no other discussion, we're done? You guys, stop!
You know, you'd be doing this community a favor.
There's a lot that could do this community a favor, Nick.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're
The
we're
first step
done
is for-
discussing the insurance,
The administrative staff to step down so that we have the
why doesn't the
possibility.
entire board step down? Let a whole new board
I don't
come in.
have to. I've
Why?
done nothing wrong.
If you want us to step down, why don't you step down?
Neither have
Because
I.
I've done nothing illegally wrong, and I've proven it. Hold on, I've proven it over and over again on that you guys have illegally done things
So
wrong.
if it was
Now,
done
hold on.
illegally, there would be charges, so nice try.
Go ahead, Joe Hoffman.
People ask what it's like to be a medical director, and I say it's a huge exercise of trust. Take 250 people, some of which you know, some of which you know very well, some you can maybe recognize in the grocery store, other people you have no idea what they look like. Give them a copy of your driver's license or your car insurance, and say, I'm going to be responsible for everything you do. I have put my name and my family's livelihood in your hands, in this commission's hands, and you've run it into the ground.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on. Level of frustration and anger. You need to be a citizen, and you need to do the right thing.
Okay.
Never happened.
Thank you.
Our insurance is.
So if there's no other discussions on this insurance, I'm gonna make a motion that we adjourn this meeting at 3:53.
I second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Nay.
My job
Money, there's no pay for anything. You're out, you're out.
If we, the taxpayer, are responsible, if he decides to come in,
Oh, yeah, well,
who locks it up? All the buildings.
No, we need to stay here for hours. Good.
We will.
Cool. Take a look in the mirror, Karen. Take a look in the mirror.
Resign! Do something for the community for once.
I want to breathe that up there. That must be the stuff that came out of the Beeville station.
The tanks and the hoses and the everything.
Thanks for coming out, buddy. You're right in the heart of it, aren't you?
You know what? You're gonna stop. You're gonna stop. You're gonna stop.
Nobody has to stop.
Where's the chief?